Hey everybody, and welcome back to Astrologaster, where we left off here with Thomas Blagg outside our door, and apparently he may be having some issues with his wife. Well, we know he's having plenty of issues with his wife, or his wife's having issues with him, whether he knows it or not. So let's bring him in and see what he's got going on.
Good day, Dean Blagg. How now, good sir? I see you do ail of something.
I do ail of something, Foreman. Forsooth, I fear I am very ill indeed, for I tremble day and night with fever, and my face does itch and prick with pain.
That doesn't sound good.
Verily, you do exhibit upon your nose and cheeks a rash of a most remarkable hue.
Before you do this reading for me, Foreman, I must have your word that you will not speak of this to my wife, Alice. In truth, I have had her believe that I was set upon by an angry swarm of wasps that have lately been nesting in the north transept of the cathedral.
I do understand. A kind husband would naturally wish to shield his wife from any undue distress.
Ah, yea, that of course. And there be also the small matter of the promise I did make to restore the Blagg family fortune before I died.
How's that going?
And thus not leave my wife and children to live in penury when I am gone. If Mistress Blagg were to think that I am gravely ill, it would provoke some awkwardness between us that I would rather wish to avoid.
I take it then that your finances are also in poor health.
Alas, they are. For as you accurately predicted,
Hey, 100,
the
100.
Archbishop never did grant me the bishopric of Salisbury. It would seem his grace is content for me to remain in my current state of penury.
I see. Well, as to your wife, Alice, be not afeard, sir. We doctors take querent confidentiality most seriously.
We haven't really
As
so far.
Hippocrates did say, testa Apollinum medicum secreta, among other things. Now, mayhap we proceed to consult the stars on the matter of your condition. With what disease is my querent Thomas Blagg troubled, and how may he be cured?
Indeed. You have pains and a prickly rash. I have a red nose and cheeks and much bodily pain. What ails me? I don't know. Measles, sir? Blagg suffers from erysipelas, a severe skin disease of the face that is accompanied with pain and fever. I mean, that seems to match everything he said. Skin disease, pain and fever. He's got red cheeks and pain. Evil digestion caused by the overconsumption of a strong drink. Don't know. Or bone shaw being a knob-like growth rising on the shin. Well, I mean, he hasn't talked about his shins. So, that one sounds rather easy. I think you have erysipelas. Never heard of it before. Don't know if it's a real disease, but whatever it is, you have it.
It would seem you are troubled with a severe disease of the skin known as erysipelas. It is quite serious, though you may find some temporary relief from the pain and fever by vigorously purging from your fundament. To induce such a thing,
just vigorously
I do advise
purge.
the consumption of a considerable quantity of prunes, or mayhap rhubarb. Of course, it does depend on the season.
Erysipelas? Prunes?
Yes?
Oh, merciful Lord, if it be thy will that I should die, and if thou hast writ these mortal signs upon the stars, I beseech thee, have thy servant Simon Forman speak the truth.
And we're trying.
Prithee, sir, I had not finished. Oh, my dear friend, I will not lie to you. Your condition is quite advanced. In truth, I fear you must prepare for the worst. If you will not share
Thomas.
this grave news with Mistress Blagg, perchance you might speak to her from the safety of, from beyond the grave? That is to say, write her a letter that may be read to her after you're gone. Your loving words, though thus delayed, may provide her comfort in her time of grief and destitution.
God bless you for your candor, sir. As well your wisdom and friendship these last years.
It has been a pleasure.
I will now go and pray upon what you have told me.
I wish you well, Thomas. Thank you for your visitation, and I'm sorry for your losses. The querent did present with a rash on his nose and cheeks and much bodily pain, wishing to know both its nature and its cure. I did diagnose a severe case of erysipelas and advised the querent that he may die. I advised him to write a letter for his wife to read upon his death. Methinks the querent is most pleased with me for the reading I gave today. I mean, I don't know how much pleased you can be to hear that you're going to die, but we at least got his letter of recommendation before he did so. There it is. This was the final consultation. May the Lord above absolve me of my sins, for I fear my wife Alice will not. Yeah, she's a special woman. Let's just leave it at that.
An explorer's wife cannot share his life. She is left alone. She is left alone. Once he is at sea, in a way so she.
Hello, Miss Fortescue. Let's just double check. You were the one that I gave bad information about. Yeah, I told you that the peppers were causing you lust. I didn't really mean it like that. I didn't want to come out and say that you were lusting for your dinner guest, but apparently we did. Next time we will remember. Quinsy means inflammation of the throat. But how can I help you today, Miss Fortescue?
Good day, Mistress Fortescue. How may I help you this day? You seem a little out of breath.
Aye, 'tis but my bodice. My maidservant did lace it far too tightly. Methinks she is a trifle vexed with me. Indeed, the atmosphere in the Fortescue household is exceeding ill at present.
What did you feed them?
Very. And why is that?
Someone has been stealing food from the larder in the night. This morning, 3 whole swan pies were missing. Each member of the Fortescue household suspects another.
And whom do you think is the author of these thefts, madam?
Well, I suspect my son Harold, as his fondness for pie is well known. But Harry denies it and has accused our maidservant Gladys. And 'tis true that Gladys has become suspiciously wide about the girth of late.
Gladys.
And as for Gladys, well, she is convinced the culprit is our African parrot, Sir Munchalot Grey.
He is called
But Sir
Munchalot.
Munchalot has denied the accusation and blames my monkey.
Ah, and who does your monkey blame?
How now, Dr. Forman? Be not absurd. Monkeys cannot speak.
But your
yes.
parrots can?
Then 'tis fortunate that God can. Speak to us, that is, by way of the stars. Who in the Fortescue household has been sneaking into the larder at night to steal pies?
That's an interesting one. This is the oddest request I think we've gotten in the game. Who ate all the pies? I know, like, even though they set us up to answer who ate the pies, it's still amusing to just read that prompt, who ate the pies. Sybil's family and friends have exercised constraint and discipline in relation to the pies. Sybil Fortescue is a hypocrite. She needs to turn her finger of accusation on herself, for she ate all the pies. Sybil's intuition about the identity of the pie thief is wrong. The solution to this mystery is counterintuitive. The thief is the one suspect who has maintained their silence. The Fortescue children have been raised well. They know not to steal pies. Evil from a foreign country is indicated here. Mrs. Fortescue is advised to make changes to her will. She must cut her maidservant out of it. Mistress Fortescue's maidservant is untrustworthy and aggressive. I'm going B. I don't want to accuse the servant. I don't want to accuse Miss Fortescue herself. So I think we're perhaps accusing the monkey?
madam, you may eliminate your son from your inquiries, for according to the stars, you have educated him well, and he knows not to steal pies.
Harry is innocent, is he? Then who has been eating our pies?
I am afeard it is the very last individual you would suspect. An individual who is in this very room with us now.
It is I, Simon
Oh, now,
Forman.
Dr. Forman, surely you would not accuse me.
Oh, nay, not you, madam. 'Tis your monkey. What was his name again?
You mean to say Sir Nanahad has been stealing our pies?
Yes, Sir
Oh, my
Nanahad.
days! What a naughty monkey!
Quite. He is most naughty indeed, 'twould seem.
I must at once to him go and apologise to Sir Munchalot. I never should have doubted him.
You never should have.
God give you good even, Dr. Forman. You have been a bad boy, have you not, Sir Nanahad? Who's a naughty monkey? Yes, you! You're the naughty monkey! Yes, you're the naughty monkey!
Good even, Mistress Fortescue.
Get out of here with your stinky monkey friend. Pie-stealing Nana heads. The querent wished to know which member of the Ford household was stealing pies and other food from her larder at night. I did tell the querent that her monkey was responsible for the theft of the pies. Methinks the querent was pleased with me for the reading I gave this day, and she'll come back one more time. Ooh, and we're so close to that letter recommendation. Pretty pleased. In that case, I wonder what it is that's making Gladys so fat. She's probably with child like everyone else in this game.
Humphrey Bell to play a leading Jane. You must pay the price of looking thin and nice. Drink all your fears, cease all your guilt, and shame you as to be judged, and we accord you blame.
Hello, Humphrey Bell. How's it been going? Are you anorexic yet? Have you been purging from the fundament by eating prunes and rhubarb, which we told you not to do, but you did anyways?
Good even, Mr. Bell. What brings you so late this evening, young sir? Have you come from the playhouse?
Yea, I'm come from playing a Duchess in a special performance of Richard II. You know, that play that makes the Queen look bad.
So, Mr. Shakespeare decided to revive his play, did he? I see.
I need you to tell me what to do about my pay.
Your pay,
Our
sir?
seamstress told me she heard Mistress Burbage discoursing how John Crisp is getting paid a full shilling for each performance.
And you feel this is unfair, I take it? I gather Mr. Crisp's pay is greater than yours.
Aye, sir. 'Tis full twice as much coin as they pay me.
Verily.
What I get is barely enough to cover my rent. And my parts are well bigger than his, innit?
And you can fathom no reason for this disparity in pay? He is more experienced, perchance.
What? I've been on the stage since I was a boy, and John's been playing for less than a year. Nay, sir. Mr. Burbage and them other company sharers are paying me less on account of how I'm doing the lady parts.
You mean to say you are being paid less simply because you perform lady roles?
Indeed. John only gets them main parts because he's big and tall, but I'm well better than he is. Critics call my Ophelia the most tantalizingly nubile and tragical performance since Henry Condell's Juliet.
Ah, yes. Having seen Hamlet, I would have to agree with them there. I must own that I, too, found your Ophelia most comely and alluring.
Come now, Simon.
Now, let's see what the stars advise. What can be done about you being paid less than players of masculine roles?
You can go on strike. Then they'll probably just sue you because there's no union. You can unionize. There you go. I'm being paid less than players who do the man parts. What can I do about it? Humphrey should wait. Pay equity will come in time. Not for a long, long time, I fear. Humphrey can solve his problem by using his romantic allure to seduce a woman. Humphrey should continue to perform his duties and remain quiet about the discrepancy in pay. Or, Humphrey must uncover the truth about what his colleagues are paid. Secrets are allowing Humphrey's employers to behave hypocritically. Humphrey's employers are shrewd businessmen. So this one is something to do with deception and secrets. Humphrey's boss will do evil to others if it means safeguarding his legacy. Humphrey's boss's wife is pregnant with a masculine child. His boss can therefore not be trusted. That's a weird statement. I mean, I don't really know if there are secrets. But you know what? Let's go with that one rather than you should just bide your time and do nothing, because I feel like he wouldn't like that answer. So let's go with that one.
According to the stars, your employers, the Lord Chamberlain's men, are very wise businessmen.
How do you reckon that? On account of them contriving to pay me less than I deserve?
Precisely so, Mr. Bell. And being so wise, they doubtless deter their hired men from discoursing upon the coin they receive for their labour, perchance to the extent where the men harbour such feelings of shame and suspicion about it, they would more readily show each other their privy parts before they would show their pay.
Aye, 'tis true enough. We oft pull our yardles out when we're jesting about and that. But as for a man's pay,
You do that at work?
forsooth, 'tis considered most private.
Well, such prudery must end if you and your fellow players are to advance your interests, Mr. Bell.
There you go, unionize.
Indeed. Methinks that if you were all to begin freely discoursing upon these matters, you will find you are not the only player being paid unjustly. If you do decide to demand more coin from your employers, I advise you to unify
Yes,
with the other hired men and speak as one voice.
Zah! We shall unify and demand them company sharers pay us equal coin for equal playing.
There you go. And then you all get fired because this is the 1500s and they'll just fire you and find someone else, some street urchin, to play the parts. The querent did lately learn that he was being paid less than players who perform masculine roles and sought my counsel on what he might do about it. I did advise the querent to encourage the other players to share knowledge of what they are paid, then get together to demand coin that reflects the value of their skill and experience. Methinks the querent was a little pleased with me, just a little pleased with me for the reading I gave this day, but he'll come back plenty more. We're only at 20%, so he needs to come back quite a lot. I wonder where he got this notion of unifying from. Dr. Forman is well ahead of his time, isn't it? Indeed, well ahead of his time. It's like someone from, 2020 was playing this game or something.
Hear ye, hear ye! Earl of Essex, foiled in Queen, kidnap, attempt, shocker! Biggest treason fail since Babington plot! Hear ye!
Well, Robert Devereux, Earl of Essex, has been arrested for plotting to kidnap the Queen and install himself as protector of the realm. Devereux was reported to have bribed a company of players to stage a revival of William Shakespeare's King Richard II. As this play invites treasonous comparison between the weak and incompetent King Richard and our present sovereign, Queen Elizabeth, it was Devereux's intention to use it to arouse an angry mob and lead them to the gates of Kensington Palace. Failing to muster sufficient support from the London populace, however, Devereux was compelled to return home to Essex House, where he was arrested. Sorry, Devereux, we tried.
Alice Flagg, she is a wife. 'Tis one way to live a life, oft with misfortune and with strife, especially if you be Black's wife.
Hello, Miss Flagg. How's your husband? Is he deceased yet? Let's quick, it's not looking too hot for us to get the letter of recommendation. We don't have that many more people left. Alice Flagg, you were drunk. We told you that he was poor. We failed to tell you how to woo the Bishop of London. We told you some things about Owen Wood. Yeah, your lover Owen Wood was involved with other women, etc., etc.
Good day, Mistress Flagg. Pray tell, how did things fare with your gentleman friend, Owen Wood, the Dean of Armagh?
Alas, 'tis all over betwixt me and Dean Wood.
I'm sorry
I
to
did
hear
ask
that.
him for a small loan, and he was most insulting about it. We have not spoken since. And I think I know why his ardour for me has cooled.
Why is
For
that?
I did lately learn that he has been bedding half the women in the diocese.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. I too did lately hear of this.
So your stars were very wrong to tell me I had nothing to fear from other women vying for Owen Wood's affections.
We didn't have any options. The
But
game
this
was
day
closed.
I am come about my husband. Methinks he is ill, yet he pretends he is not.
Pray describe his symptoms to me.
Well, yesterday I did remark that something was amiss when Molly McDoon and I returned from the playhouse. Well, there was a special performance of Richard II at the Globe. Know you of it?
Yeah,
Or 'tis
we
the
know.
play that makes the Queen look bad.
I know of it.
When I came in the door, there was an awful racket coming from our upstairs rooms. I went to see what the matter was and found my husband tucked up abed, moaning and wailing, and with a monstrous rash all over his face. He told me some nonsense about having been stung by wasps, and that he is merely tired. But I do not believe him.
I see.
I bid you, Foreman, tell me true, for I grow ill with worry. Is it grave? Flagg had better not think of dying on me afore he has paid his debts.
So that's what it is. You're
For
not
as his
concerned about
widow,
him.
By law, you would inherit them, would you not? But mayhap there is little to worry about. Let us consult the stars and see. What ails Thomas Flagg, the Dean of Rochester?
I'm sworn to secrecy, so I really can't tell you. What ails my husband, Thomas Flagg? He is sick abed with a mighty rash. Thomas Flagg is troubled with the melancholy, a disease characterized by much woe and preference for remaining abed. Thomas Flagg is suffering from swelling in the cods. Okay, yep, so his privy member is swollen. Thomas Flagg is ill with erysipelas, a disease characterized, yeah, we can't tell her that. So you know what? We're just gonna go with he's very upset right now, madam. We cannot tell you the truth. We're not able to disclose other people's medical history. So
I am afeard that Dean Flagg is suffering from a bout of the melancholy, a condition in which the sufferer is plagued with the feelings of woe and a preference for remaining abed. Doubtless his condition has been provoked by the trials your family has endured in recent years.
Trials? You mean his losing all our money?
yes.
I see. And now God is punishing him for it by giving him the melancholy.
Nay,
And then he's embezzling money from cathedral funds. Punishing him for that too, I warrant.
nay, if you would only listen to my...
I thank ye heartily. You have done much to set my mind at ease. Verily, I do almost feel giddy with relief. Fare ye well, Foreman.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that you're at least somewhat relieved. We're never going to get that letter of recommendation, though. The querent's wife did come about her husband, whose symptoms include a loud moaning, a severe facial rash, and a preference for remaining abed. I did diagnose melancholy. I was not able to prescribe treatment, as the querent's wife departed precipitously. Methinks the querent was a little pleased with me for the reading I gave this day. Yes, she's so far from that, we're never getting that letter. Sick over our financial difficulties, is he? I will be the one inheriting his debts if he dies, so well he might be.
Hear ye, hear ye! Traitor loses head after losing mind. Earl of Essex gets the chop for treason. Hear ye!
On this day, the 25th day of February in the year of our Lord 1601, Robert Devereux, the Earl of Essex, was executed for treason. The execution follows yesterday's trial at which he was found guilty of leading a failed plot against the realm. Formerly a favourite of both Her Majesty and the London public, the Earl's surprising betrayal of both Queen and country has shocked the nation. You know, we tried, Robert. We really tried.
If you try to argue with her, you will have no luck. She'll twist and turn your logic till your reason comes unstuck. Chastise Mary who you like, she will not give up. We'll not give up.
Hello, Miss Mary Payne. Haven't seen you in a while, I would think, so we will check your status here. So, yeah, so you were concerned about the Allens and about the Jesuit priest. We told you that we were doomed by the Spanish Armada and you were mad about that. And we told you that England will not revert to Catholicism. So I think we've so far kept that promise.
Well met, Mistress Payne. How fare you this day?
Most well indeed, sir, for I am just come from taking my niece on an outing to Tower Hill. 'Twas to see the execution of the traitor Robert Devereux.
Ah, yes.
I hate that.
Lord Devereux. What a tragic end to a promising career.
And such a lovely beheading they gave us. My niece and I very much enjoy the hangings at Tyburn, but a beheading is so much more elegant, is it not? Verily, 'tis a better class of execution, I find, and the royal executioner did go down on Devereux with such skill. A single stroke was all it took to give us the traitor's head.
Aye, 'tis true the royal executioner gives excellent...
But I have no time to tarry here and gossip with you, Dr. Forman. I am come on a matter of great concern, and you are just the man to help, methinks. For your prediction that Elizabeth's reign would endure was true. Whilst the Queen does have the appearance of being naught but a painted corpse propped up on a throne using artfully placed cushions, she is, in law at least, still alive. Praised be!
Praised be,
indeed.
madam.
Praised be. And what is this new matter that concerns you?
'Tis that England is filling up with foreigners. Indeed, 'tis been going on for so many years now that in London 'tis rare to hear anyone discoursing in the English tongue any more. The city is crawling with Continentals.
Ah, then I take it you do not enjoy your visit to the City of London.
Oh, nay, I have never been to London. For as I did just say, 'tis crawling with Continentals.
Aren't we in London?
And Lambeth will soon suffer the same fate if we do not act. Why, only the other day, I spied a Continental on the High Street. A monstrous ogre of a man he was. And as for his face, his eyelashes were so fair, he had the appearance of having none at all.
Ah, yes, the Netherlanders. 'Tis true the people of the Netherlands can be fair of hair and tall of stature.
And 'tis surely no coincidence that Lambeth has suffered an increase in crime of late. We do not feel safe, Dr. Forman. Every night we ladies of Fore Street do shiver in our beds at the thought of these frighteningly large men.
I do not doubt it, madam. Now, let us see whether the stars might allay or confirm your fears. Should the residents of Lambeth be concerned about an influx of Continentals?
No, you're being a xenophobic nationalist. Please stop it. Should the residents of Lambeth be concerned about an influx of Continentals? Some Continentals are lying about why they're in Lambeth. They are come here to rob Lambeth residents of our household possessions. We must not be deceived. Lambeth residents' relationship with Continental immigrants is in danger of turning violent. Our duty lies with our domestic concerns, which should take priority. So, they're here to rob us. Our queen has been waging war on the continent. Unpleasantness in the name of religion has caused death and destruction. The residents of Lambeth are being somewhat hypocritical. The stars advise countering this hypocrisy. Continental immigration will enrich England's legacy with culture and innovation. Youths who have lost their sense of discipline are involved. So we should say accept immigrants, but something about youths have lost their discipline. Or we can basically blame the Queen. Queen has been waging war on the continent. Unpleasantness in the name of religion has caused death and destruction. I don't think we want to mention religion because she's a very religious person. And the song we had before this said we couldn't change her mind. Like, there's nothing we could do to... So I don't think we want to call her a hypocrite because she won't accept that. So let's just go ahead and say this one. She probably won't like it, but we said it.
Madam, I may assure you that if there be a rise in criminality, the Continentals are not to blame.
Then who is to blame?
May I suggest the youth of this day? The youth of this day are customarily blamed for social ills, and in this instance it would seem justified, at least according to the stars. As for the Continentals, it appears that elements of their culture and expertise may one day serve to enrich ours. Consider, for example, the additional dining options they have brought with them to England. Indeed, do we English not tire of our dreary custards and dull mutton roasts?
Well, in truth, I am a little partial to their... What are those puffy pancake things with the crisscrosses on them?
Hot cross buns?
Waffles, I believe.
Aye, I will own I am partial to those Netherlander waffles. But pish, Dr. Forman, you learned men and fancy folk may discourse all you like about having your dinner tables enlivened with foreign cookery, but who is it that suffers when desperate Continentals go a-robbing our houses and a-troubling our women? 'Tis us ordinary folk, 'tis who. I will have my husband write to Lambeth Palace and tell the Archbishop we will have no more of these Continentals in Lambeth. Blessed day, Dr. Forman.
Well, she didn't like that very much. The querent did come with fears of an influence of continental immigrants. I did suggest to the querent that the continental migrants were a welcome addition to English society. Methinks the querent took my advice a little ill. She's only going to come back 2 more times, and we'll have to get 55 points out of her. Don't think we can expect that. I wonder when Mr. Payne will be getting home from the butcher's. I could do with a lovely big bit of gammon this evening. Sure, whatever.
Hear ye, hear ye! Dean of Rochester Cathedral dies. New Dean pledges to refurnish empty cathedral. Hear ye!
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Flagg. Sorry to hear that. Local residents are saddened this day by tidings of the death of Thomas Flagg, Dean of Rochester Cathedral. He leaves behind a wife, Alice Flagg, and children John, Thomas, Cornwallis, Edmund, Nicholas, and Francis.
Humphrey Bell, at ease is our reward, for it is not enough to be my fans adored. For you, we sigh, we drool, and swoon, when we see you entering the room.
So, Humphrey Bell, you've come back. How did the union go? But I think we will leave that for next time. We will not find out this episode because it's run a good length, this one. So we will end it here. Thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope to see you again next time.